It's kind of scary. I was just reading this article about how the new consoles, Xbox One and PlayStation 4, are not selling as well as the previous Xbox and PlayStation, and that, you know, over the course of, they've been out for over a year now.
Yeah.
And over that timeline, they've not sold as well as like the past previous consoles. And people are wondering if this is a sign of the major shift, like Konami's already made, of focusing on mobile games, if maybe consoles are done. Now that this Pokemon Go is getting a press release as if it's a brand new Pokemon game, you know? And I'm sitting here thinking about it, it's like, but maybe it's just going to be an app.
Like Final Fantasy Record Keeper.
Yeah, maybe it's not going to be that fucking cool, and maybe it's not even intended to be that full of an experience.
Companies are definitely figuring out, the app companies that are making games, but that are just apps basically, their whole move is to get the user in for a brief amount of time daily.
Yeah.
And you kind of have only so much stamina you can use before you have to let it reset in real time. And it's a way to keep you coming back for daily rewards, keep you logging back in for daily activity.
Most successful apps don't have huge time commitments.
No.
It's something that you can load up, play for 5 minutes on the toilet.
And then you're out of stamina and you have to wait till tomorrow. Interesting. It could be something exactly like that. Which
I was going to say, too, about the article you were talking about, too. I'd be curious to read that, because the PS4 is outpacing the PS3. PS3 didn't do that great. And I know that's outpacing that, but maybe they just mean in general, because I don't know if Xbox is doing as well. Xbox is definitely not doing as well.
I didn't read comparisons like PlayStation 3 versus PlayStation 4, but it was just overall, it showed...
Yeah, it's not as much as back in the day.
In fact, if I remember correctly, it was like... the last big console release was in 2007 or 2006.
Yeah.
So it was a certain amount of time after all three, like the last generation was released.
Yeah, yeah.
And this one is sold like 25% as much as the last generation had had in the same amount of time.
Steam is way more popular now.
Steam is taking over. Mobile phones are taking over. I think it's a new generation of video game players too. Like our age group is kind of moving out. Like, gonna save our money.
True.
Maybe we're gonna hang on.
System isn't gonna be a.
Maybe we're gonna hang on to the last generation a little bit more, and then the next generation of kids who already have cell phones, are they gonna drop $400 on a PlayStation? Or
True.
They have to wait till their mom gets it for them for Christmas.
Yeah.
I remember that's the only way I used to get consoles.
Oh, for sure. When I was before I was, God, I can't remember the first console I could actually afford to buy myself. It might have been a PS2.
It is interesting though, because I never thought about it that way. Like, you always hear about mobile games and stuff like that. Okay, whatever. But I never thought about it in terms of, when I was a kid, the only way to play any kind of digital game was to beg for a machine that would do that.
Yeah.
You know, for my parents, or, you know, let's get a Genesis, let's get that. And it's interesting now, there is, I still know plenty of kids who want a console, or want a PS4 or an Xbox, but they're a little more satisfied in the interim by...
An iPad.
Yeah, it's like, well, you still can play a cool new game on your mom's iPad or your dad's iPhone. You know, and so that does curb it to a point. It's not... You're not in a situation like years ago where you can't play any form of digital game. Like, something can't hold you over.
I'm almost going to go
out... Because I do know still plenty of kids who want consoles for Call of Duty and all the crazy shit. But it is interesting that does kind of subdue that want.
I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to make a claim. You may even be able to rationalize that the golden age of video games is over. And that there was a time when all anybody wanted was basically a movie that they could live and experience themselves. And that group is getting smaller and smaller, people who actually desire that kind of experience. And the group of people who just want mobile games and fast stuff is getting bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's been that argument for a long time.
The big games have no story and are not single-player experiences.
Like, they just focus on the multiplayer, and it's just like the quick...
Call of Duty
The quick battle, like the 5-minute experience.
The
multiplayer.
multiplayer.
The single-player storytelling experience. The people who desire that may be losing out on, like, a big portion of those games. I think you might see those slow down a little bit.
I think there's always been more of a desire for that kind of stuff. For the single player and story kind of stuff has always kind of stemmed from Japan more than here, or at least for a long time. But and that's what's always, to me, kind of threatening about, like, when Japanese developers aren't kind of pumping out as much. Those are the games I like the most. You know, it's like I would prefer a Metal Gear or a you know, Resident Evil or something like that to a massive multiplayer game or whatever.
I think you'll always get games like that too.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think that'll ever go away completely.
With any like medium, movies, music, video games,
around.
There's a heyday where there's like all the best stuff is coming out and then it kind of slows down and then the next big thing comes out. I feel like video games kind of replaced movies and now mobile games are going to replace console games. And
what will replace mobile games?
Oculus.
What do you go back to? Yeah, VR.
VR, the VR arcade.
Hey,
have you heard about virtual reality arcades?
No.
There's people who are already like anticipating Oculus coming out, and they're saying they want to build these establishments where it's like an old school arcade, but instead of a cabinet, it's an Oculus.
Yeah.
Pop a quarter in, play a virtual reality game for a little while.
Hey, that's a great subject. And a great segue into the most important... So Tokyo Game Show happened this last week. Mm-hmm. Really not a lot of news came out of that that we care about.
Awesome new Resident Evil game.
Honestly, it's another shooter. They announced it and it was, Raccoon City core. And it's like guys who look like Hunk shooting people. I'm like, did we just do this?
That game looked so bad.
Raccoon City core?
No one even like tweeted the link to me or like even wanted to talk to me.
No one even brought it up.
No one even cared.
It was such a on the radar, dude. Like a wet fart in the night.
I looked the video up the next morning. It just looks like it doesn't need to be Resident Evil so bad. It looks weird.
Yeah, I mean, it was just
you're
so
fighting
nothing.
like you're like two Call of Duty teams, but there's zombies running around the level, but they're not biting you.
You know what? God damn it, too. That's a fucking another thing about video games. The expectations on the developers' behalf of what they feel like they need to give people is so fucking low.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, if we just give them a gun and a bunch of stuff to shoot at, they're gonna buy it.
Yeah. There's a real weird battle going on. Honestly, on that subject, there's a really weird battle going on where there's this argument that players have too high of an expectation of what the developers should make, and I definitely see that because there's some games that come out, and because of these big, open world games and all these games that have accelerated to this high level, people hold other games up to a false expectation. There's some games that come out that just want to be a cool action game, and people are like, it'd be better if this was bigger and that was bigger, and it's like, but it was never going to be that. So I do see that side.
Yeah.
On the other hand, some developers have this weird, who can't branch out or feel like they can't, and I think Resident Evil is in that camp right now, where it's, action did so well, like they're still in this box of Resident Evil 4.
Good ideas from 10 years ago.
Yeah, they're still in this box from Resident Evil 4 where everyone's like, just make the next one really, like, surreal and scary. Nah, but, no, multiplayer, and they have guns! Yeah, okay, you've done that. It's alright, you don't need to do that again.
No, beyond that, though,
but...
it's every game that's out is just like it's already been done.
Yeah.
This new Umbrella, whatever it's called.
Core?
Umbrella Core. It looks like, and it's weird because this is a Japanese developed game, right? Mm-hmm. It was shown at TGS.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It looks like it's made for dude bros who love the Resident Evil movies. That are big fans of the Resident Evil movies. And also just want to do like the Call of Duty thing with their friends. Because it's like squad based, like, I don't know.
Dude, even like Call of Duty, fucking set it in space or something. Just do something fucking outside the envelope.
I think they did that. I think there's a Call of Duty. I think the whole last one was a multiplayer thing through like zombies in space or something.
Let go of the fucking zombies.
Yeah, that's the thing. They can't.
No. It's just there needs to be a new experience. I feel like a lot of players are complaining like this isn't enough. You didn't do enough. You didn't do enough. And that's because they've already digested these games in other games. They've already had these experiences before, and now they're just getting them again in a new box with new characters. There needs to be a new thinker to break some ground to give people a new experience. A game people haven't played before. I'm not that person.
Gone home.
Gone home.
Something new.
Gone home.
Well, I can understand why games like indie games that are so like minimalist get so much praise just because they're different.
Yeah.
And people will say like, Yeah, it's like a work of art. It's a game when you just look at one word and you think about all the letters that make it, and they change colors. And it's like, you are so fucking hungry for something that's not Call of Duty that you are praising this kind of bullshit. But it's not that they're wrong, but it's like they just want something new and they need it. It's driving them crazy.
Yeah.
Well, really the only interesting news for most of Tokyo Game Show just came out of the Sony keynote. But to me, I didn't really honestly care about any of the stuff in that keynote. They're remastering the Kingdom Hearts 3DS game, but now it's going to be on PS4. Great, yeah.
Yeah, play it again.
Hey, and I'm going to be real. I'm going to get some hate for. I feel like I'm the only one who feels this way.
Play it again, but it looks better this time.
Hey, get ready for the hate.
I did not fucking like Gravity Rush at all.
What?
And they're making another one, and they're porting the old one to PS4. I thought that game was fetch quest bullshit. I didn't think it was really interesting at all. I like the look of it visually.
But now you can play it again, and then play more of it.
Yeah, there you go. So I didn't care about that. However, let's pay attention to the one best thing that came out of Tokyo Game Show that turned the industry upside down.
Here comes the hate. I can feel it.
That's right.
What?
They are making... Not only are they making... This is real, by the way. You're going to think I'm joking. Not only are they making Dead or Alive Extreme 3, the volleyball game.
You're not joking about this?
Not joking. Not only are they making it, PlayStation VR support day one. So, Sean on Tuesday, go ahead.
Derek.
Sean on Tuesday, go ahead and play our Goodbye Girlfriends skit that we did. Goodbye Girlfriends. This thing replaces you. Goodbye Girlfriends. There's just no need for you. Goodbye Girlfriends. Bye Girl. Just play that part of the video right here, and everyone will know what we're talking about.
You're going to be serving them balloons
I'll be serving something. Soft serve, you know what I mean?
What?
Anyway.
You a big volleyball fan?
Yeah, I'm a huge volleyball fan.
Beach volleyball.
Olympics, I'll be at the Olympics. I'm going to be... Where are they? Where's the next Olympics?
Japan?
Shanghai.
Shanghai?
No, where are they?
I don't know.
The 1 week Sean's not here.
I don't know.
I really want to know.
It's in Africa somewhere. Somewhere in Africa. No limp dicks at the Olympics. That's
no,
for sure.
Yeah, no limp. Welcome
Definitely
to the no limp dicks.
Exactly.
No limp dicks.
Anyway.
All right. Well, let the hate commence. Email Rocco. Let him know what you think.
I was most impressed by Metal Gear Online.
Yeah, they did show. Actually, that's true. They did show Metal Gear Online.
Out of all the TGS stuff, the only thing I really cared about was that little gameplay demo of here's some actual weapons, how it's gonna work. The saluting to create a teammate link.
Does that look cool? Because
I
never
so
played
cool.
it for PS4.
I never did once. Never did.
It was great. I've dabbled, unlike Sean, in Dotas. I've played little chunks of all the MGOs that they've had with Portable Ops and then 4 and everything.
Yeah.
But then this new one is in the Fox engine that the game is in. I'm so fluid with my movements in that game. I'm looking forward to competitive online squad.
That is gonna be that'd be fun to try.
It's all silly tricks, and that plays to my benefits. My weaknesses are getting headshots with a fucking sniper rifle, but I can go hide a little stuffed animal dog to confuse and distract one of my enemies while I sneak up in a cardboard box and strangle it. It looks so fucking fun to me.
I have more to say about Metal Gear, but first, real quick, I want to thank our sponsors this week.